Hi kids, and welcome to Sideways Day on EnAbel Network Kids, the show on the EnAbel Network meant just for kids. Nah, I'm just kidding. But speaking of Sideways, we're going to talk about Solomon today. How did something so good turn so bad? Well, Solomon is one of those stories, that even if you're not trying to quote the Bible, you know about him somehow. Well, maybe not exactly. There's one story like that that's more popular, but I'll get to that another day. Anyways, Solomon, in case you don't know, he was David's son, and his name meant peace. And when he was crowned king, he was quite young, so he prayed to God, and God gave him a vision and asked him what he wanted. Now, if you ever get that opportunity, think long and hard about what you want. Solomon didn't ask for a long life, and he didn't ask for the death of his enemies. What he asked for pleased God. He asked for a just and discerning heart to govern Israel. He wanted to be wise, so he knew who was lying and who wasn't. And God was quite pleased with this request. He granted it, and he said, as long as you obey me, you'll have long life. And the enemy thing too. Let's just say this. As long as he was obedient, that was taken care of too. So, Solomon got a chance to prove himself. Two women were claiming the same child was theirs. One of the women was a fake whose child had died recently, and the other woman was the real mother. They didn't have DNA testing back then, so what was Solomon to do? Both women were claiming the child, and they lived in the same house, so you can't determine by where they live. Solomon was in quite a pickle here, or at least he would have been. What he did is pretty widely known. He asked for a sword, and he started to cut the baby in half. Here's what happened next. The real mother was like, no, please don't hurt him, please don't! Give him to the other woman, just don't hurt him. And the other woman, and the woman who turned out the baby wasn't hers, she was like, nope, let him be neither mine nor yours. Cut him in half. Solomon, I can just imagine him with a grin on his face, like, give the baby to this woman, the one who said, give it to the other woman, and let them go in peace. Boom. Now that ain't wisdom, I don't know what is. And yet, Solomon was the wisest person who ever lived or will live. He was pretty stupid later in his life. His focus shifted. Now, God gave him wisdom, but as far as the long life and the enemies, he said you would have to obey. He told Solomon that he would have to obey him to have those. Unfortunately, Solomon's focus shifted, and he got wrapped up in himself and stopped listening to God. Sure, he had built the temple that David was unable to build because he was a man of blood. But he started building other temples. Solomon, the wisest man ever, made a stupid decision and stopped following God. And in the end, his son, like, was even more arrogant than his father, if that's even possible, you know. And the kingdom split. Solomon was blessed with wisdom. But like another being before him, he got too wrapped up in himself. Which is why, kids, you can't, praise yourself. You gotta praise God. You can't take credits for the gifts that God has given you. Don't be stupid like Solomon. If God blesses you with something, give the gift back to God. Use it to honor Him. At one point, Solomon stopped using his wisdom for God and started using it to better himself. Don't fall into the same trap he did. Well, that's all the time we got today, kids. And I'm sorry I was so serious, but yeah, have a great day, kids. Oh, and in case I didn't say it, EnAbel Network Kids is just for kids. And maybe kids at heart. Bye, kids.